Is that a Sid Hatfield burger?
Alright. Hi everybody. This is Leo and Heather. She's shy. Anyhow, we're in Matewan today and we're doing a little video and I wanted to show you guys something. Anybody that's been on my tour before has seen this place and heard this history. This is one of the most amazing stories you will ever hear. The entire middle class comes from this spot. I mean, literally, the world's first world countries actually come from here. It's one of the world's most important historic sites. Look right there. You can actually see bullet holes from the Matewan Massacre. This caused what was known as the Mine Wars. There's a whole museum right across the street right there about it. This is the original town going down this way. Thought we'd go down, take a look, show y'all some of it, some of the town, the old balcony. Look out for the locomotive.
This was the original street, right?
Right, this was the original town. Railroad came down through here. It's Sid Hatfield's old office right there, the old City Hall, 1908. This was, when you came into town, this was the main drag. You had the trains coming through. The Mexican restaurant. There's a little collapse. They're next door. It's good advice. No one looks old, doesn't it? Just looks old. How you doing?
We do YouTube stuff. They're not porn.
Notice that. 12. All right, if you look at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, I don't know.
Should be 10.
Now, the story is that Sid Hatfield actually chased Albert Phelps into this store, into this post office, and murdered him in cold blood. But what's really interesting is how, in the very end of all this, how this came out to play with the Mayor Testerman, Sid Hatfield's best friend, and Sid Hatfield. And that is the location that we are headed to next. It's a Monday, and as you can see, it's pretty deserted. It kind of livens up a little bit on the weekends, but it's a small town. And of course, it's ATV friendly. The whole city is basically built on coal mining and the Hatfield-McCoy feud. This is Mary Harris, aka Mother Jones. Sid Hatfield, of course. Now, this is Ed Chambers, who we're going to get to in the next location, but he was actually murdered with Sid Hatfield a year after the Matewan Massacre.
Hey everybody, we're up in Matewan today and we're doing some video. Heather's down by the massacre site and she's doing some video down there. I thought I would start on the upper end. There's a Trailhead restaurant and the depot, old depot replica. TJ's, of course, they'll carry out. And work my way down and meet up with her. I just wanted to show you guys some of the historic sites, you know, kind of get you a little bit familiar with the town. You know, some of you are curious. This here is the old hospital, but it's the Buffalo Mountain Inn now. It's an old, you know, obviously historic building. Bet it has a lot of history, a lot of stories to tell. Now, as we go up, these are really old historic buildings, obviously. I mean, that's the old seed store right there. A friend of ours, Kathy and Donald McCoy, have their restaurant, Wingo's. Look at that. $19.18. Smokers. She makes amazing pulled pork in those things. Anyhow, this is her restaurant. B&B across the street. Anyhow, this is Wingo's. Wingo's Grill. I don't see Heather yet. She's back behind the building somewhere videoing. And the church, like I said, there's B&B. Now, this is the old town, that section right there. That's the old part of Matewan. There's Heather. And that's the old town down that way. It's the Mine Wars Museum across the street. There's several, you know, gift shops, restaurants, Mexican restaurants, stuff like that down that way.
And of course, there's a UMWA base here, but you wouldn't expect any less in a town like Matewan. And this is pretty cool. I wanted to show you these little murals. I mean, how neat is that? Kind of creepy too, actually. But it's showing, you know, the rich history of coal mining around here. Which was not easy work. Those are very cool. There's my bright and happy husband. And beautiful mountains as a backdrop. This really is a cool little town. So we're gonna go to Sid Hatfield's office, which is the old jail. Now they were gonna do something with this jail, but it seems like they're not
I think
anymore.
you can rent it. Black on the end.
So this is it right here. So many loud trucks, but this is right across the street from Matewan. Right here.
Side.
Huh?
From the Massacre side.
Yeah, right from the Massacre site, which is right there. I love that little church right there. It's so pretty. And now we're going to head to where Sid Hatfield is buried next to his best friend, Mayor Testerman. It's pretty. Is there parking? Yeah, 1892 to 1933. That's pretty cool. I'll just check it out real quick. So this is right next door to the jail. We just thought it was kind of neat. His windows. So this church was established in 1892. You can pause that and read that. It's so pretty though. Love, love, love old churches. So I just thought you might want to check that out.
Everybody, it's Leo, Trail 10 Tours. Most of you know that. Those of you who have been on the tour before with us, I've showed you all this stuff, but only a few of you have seen where Sid Hatfield's grave is. So, among other things, we're going to show you where Sid Hatfield's grave is. Now, we're sitting right here in front of the Trailhead Bar and Grill. I'm sure you all know where that is. We're right in Matewan. They serve alcohol, so I'm sure most of you found this place. Anyhow, what you do is you pull out the parking lot and turn left and go across the bridge. And there's the depot replica. Go ahead.
Or not.
We'll come to the pawpaw tree site is on your left.
Right there. Oh, it's grown up a little bit.
Turn.
This is
here.
radio station hill.
And you just go straight up.
And you can ride an ATV here from Matewan.
Yes.
It's just a little tight parking. I would actually advise riding an ATV versus bringing, something bulky. If you do drive, do you need four-wheel drive, do you think?
No, you don't need four-wheel drive, but I'm not going to take a Mustang down there. So.
And we're here. Kind of overgrown, but we are here.
Right. And this is the graveyard. He's out through here. So we'll, I don't know if you want to walk out through there or stop
we're
the
gonna
video.
walk that way.
This is where Sid's at. He's right out here. But just so you guys make sure you know where you're at, this is Radio Tower Hill. Like I said, right up there, that's the old radio station.
What is this right
And
here, that conveyor belt?
That's the cabling and stuff that went up to the old radio tower.
Okay.
You can see the tower up there and the cabling, and that was the station right there. You can, if you come up on ATV, side by side, whatever, you can go out that way, go out through there, and it loops.
This looks like Snake City, man.
The grass is up a little bit. But you can see Jack Hatfield. Hatfield graves over here. Hatfield. Now, those of you that have been, on any of the tours coming here, you've been here, and a couple of the cemetery rides, stuff like that. But you come out right there and loop around that tree and turn.
Seems like this is kind of little private fenced in areas. Dr. somebody born 1842.
Look at that. For a graveyard, it's very pretty. As you can see, it's still in use. This is Sid Hatfield's grave right here. The man himself. His death is what kicked off the mine wars, and basically it led to the middle class, the world's first world countries. The man is literally one of the greatest American heroes to ever draw a breath, and no one knows his name. It's terrible. It's a shame. It really is. And if you look here, we will never forget. It's only been attributed to one other thing that I know of. That's 9/11. That's how much this death, how much it meant to these people, how much he meant to the locals. He was a hero.
Okay, so this is Betty White. I don't think it's the famous Betty White.
That one.
And Sid Hatfield was born in Blackberry, which is pretty close to us. He grew up in poverty. He worked as a miner when he was younger. What's interesting to me about this grave is that Sid Hatfield is buried next to his best friend, Mayor Testerman. Sid Hatfield, ironically, married Mayor Testerman's wife, Jessie, 3 weeks after Testerman died. Jessie said that it was Mayor Testerman's, what he wanted.
Last request.
His last request. But there was newspapers back then talked about that they were already having an affair, and that Sid Hatfield actually shot Testerman at the Matewan Massacre. But either way, we weren't there. Rumors fly on stuff like that. You know how it goes. But they are buried next to each other, which is pretty cool. Either way, to be buried next to your best friend, if you like them. If you don't, I think you'd probably be haunting. But either way, Sid Hatfield was killed. A year later, him and Jessie were walking up the courthouse steps in Welch, West Virginia, Ed Chambers, and Sid Hatfield was shot 4 times in the chest. He pretty much died on sight. Ed Chambers also died. He was there with his wife. They were unarmed. And this is what triggered the Battle of Blair Mountain. Now, he was shot by Baldwin-Felts agents. But they were both pretty young. I mean, he was born in 1882, died in 1920. You can do the math because math ain't my thing.
Yeah. And there's Chambers right there.
And he was born in 1893 and died in 1921, which is a year after Mayor Testerman died. Now Chambers, who also died with Sid Hatfield, is apparently buried right down here. I see it. But if you like history, you know, all this is accessible by car or ATV from Williamson, Matewan, foot, you know. So there's Chambers. He was born in 1899, died in 1921. God defends the right, killed at Welch, West Virginia, and McDowell County by the Felts detectives. And there you have it. Legends and Locations of Sid Hatfield and Company by Leo New. If you ever want a private tour or just to ride a group ride, you know, message us and we can show you these locations in person.